Hello, I'm Chandana from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. Today in this presentation, we are going to know some information about OSI model. First, we'll see the introduction of OSI model. OSI stands for Open System Interconnection, is the reference model that describes how information from a software application in one computer moves through a physical medium to the software application in another computer. OSI consists of 7 layers and each layer performs a particular network function. The OSI model was developed by an international organization of standardization. OSI model divides the whole task into 7 smaller and manageable tasks. Each layer is assigned a particular task. Each layer is self-contained so that tasks assigned to each layer can be performed independently. The first layer, physical layer. The physical layer is the bottommost layer of OSI model, that is Open System Interconnection Model, which is a physical and electrical representation of the system. It consists of various network components such as power plugs, connectors, receivers, cable types, etc. The physical layer sends data bits from one device to another device. The physical layer defines the types of encoding that is how the zeros and ones are encoded in a signal. The physical layer is responsible for the communication of unstructured raw data streams over a physical medium. The second layer is the data link layer. The data link layer is the second layer from the bottom in the OSI network architecture model. It is responsible for the node-to-node delivery of data. Its major role is to ensure error-free transmission of information. DLL is also responsible for encoding, decode, and organizing the outgoing and incoming data. This is considered the most complex layer of OSI model as it hides all the underlying complexities of the hardware from the other above layers. The data link layer receives the information in the form of packets from the network layer. It divides packets into frames and sends those frames bit by bit to the underlying physical layer. The third layer is the network layer. The network layer is the third layer in the OSI model of computer networks. Its main function is to transfer network packets from the source to the destination. It is involved both the source host and the destination host. At the source, it accepts the packet from the transport layer, encapsulates it in a datagram, and then delivers the packet to the data link layer so that it can further be sent to the receiver. At the destination, the datagram is decapsulated and packaged, is extracted and delivered to the corresponding transport layer. Features of network layer. The main responsibility of the network layer is to carry the data packets from the source to the destination without changing or using them. If the packets are too large for delivery, they are fragmented, that is broken down into smaller packets. It decides the route to be taken by the packets to travel from the source to destination among the multiple routes available in the network. The source and destination address are added to the data packets inside the network layer. The fourth layer is transport layer. The transport layer is the second layer in the TCP/IP model and the fourth layer in OSI model. It is an end-to-end layer used to deliver message to the host. It is termed an end-to-end layer because it provides a point-to-point connection rather than hop-to-hop between the source host and destination host to deliver the services reliably. The unit of data encapsulation in the transport layer is segment. Working of transport layer. The transport layer takes services from the application layer and provides services to the network layer. At sender's side, the transport layers receive data from the application layer, then performs segmentation, divides the actual message into segments, adds the source and destinations port numbers into the header of the segment, and transfer the message to the network layer. At the receiver side, the transport layer receives data from the network layer, resembles the segmented data, reads it header, identifies the port number, and forwards the message to the appropriate port in the application layer. The fifth layer is the session layer. Session layer, which is the fifth layer in OSI model, uses the services provided by the transport layer, enables applications to establish and maintain sessions and to synchronize the sessions. Now, in order to establish a session connection, several things should be allowed. First thing, we should map the session address to the shipping address. The second thing that we need to select that the required transport quality to service parameters. Next thing, we need to take care of the negotiation which should happen between session parameters. Then we further need to transmit limited transparent user data. Then at last we need to monitor data transfer phase properly. The ability to send larger amount of data files is extremely important and necessary thing too. Functions of session layer. The session layer, being the fifth layer of OSI model, performs several different functions as well as important functions which are need for establishing as well as maintaining a safe and secure connection. The sixth layer will be the presentation layer. Presentation layer in the OSI model as a translator converts the data sent by the application layer of the transmitting node into an acceptable and compatible data format used on applicable network protocol and architecture. Upon arrival of receiving computer, and the presentation layer translates data into acceptable format usable by the application layer. Basically, in other words, this layer takes care of any issues occurring when transmitted data must be viewed in a format different from the original format. Being the function part of OSI mode, the presentation layer performs a multitude data conversion algorithms and character translation functions. Mainly, this layer is responsible for managing two network characteristic protocol and architecture. Presentation layer protocols. Presentation layer being the sixth layer but the most important layer in the OSI model, performs several types of functionalities which make sure that data which is being transferred or received should be accurate or clear to all devices which are there in closed network. So the seventh layer is application layer. Application layer is the topmost layer in the open system interconnection model. This layer provides several ways for manipulating the data, which actually enables many type of users to access network with ease. This network also makes a request to its bottom layer, which is presentation layer, for receiving various types of information from it. The application layer interface differently interacts with the application and provides common web application services. This layer is basically highest level of open system which provides services differently for application process. Application layer provides a facility by which user can forward several mails, and it also provides a storage facility. This layer allows user to access and retrieve the managed files in a remote computer. It allows user to log on as remote host. This layer provides the access to global information about various services. This layer provides services which include email transferring files, distributing results to be user, directory services, network resource, and so on. It provides protocols that allow software to send and receive information and present meaningful data to users. It handles issues such as network transparency, so resource allocation, and so on. This layer serves as a window for users and application processes to access network services. So now we are at the conclusion of this presentation. In conclusion, the OSI model provides a comprehensive framework for understanding the communication process in computer networks. Its 7 layers each provide specific functions that work together to enable efficient and reliable communication between network nodes. Thank you.